morning, outside the Faisal Mosque in Islamabad sat a 14-year-old boy named Saleem. Beside him was an old wooden box filled with shoe polish, a worn-out brush, and a small tin of black polish. From sunrise until evening, he polished people's shoes for just 20 rupees a pair. If he managed to polish 15 or 20 pairs in a day, he could earn around 300 to 400 rupees, barely enough to keep the lights on in their tiny home. At home, only his mother and younger sister Maria waited for him. Saleem's father had passed away in an accident when he was only 10 years old, and since then, the responsibilities of life had rested heavily on his young shoulders. People would walk up to him, throw their shoes in front of him, and impatiently say, "Quickly, boy, we don't have all day." But very few ever wondered what dreams lived inside that child's heart or how many struggles he silently carried. Saleem worked quietly during the day, but at night, after the lights around the mosque dimmed, he would sit alone on a nearby bench and study from his old books. Those books had been gifted to him by a teacher whose shoes Saleem polished every day. The teacher would often encourage him by saying, "Saleem, it doesn't matter if your hands become dark from hard work, just keep your mind bright and pure." Despite exhaustion and sleepless nights, Saleem continued his studies. He completed his matric and later his FSC, balancing long days filled with dust and polish and nights buried in books and formulas. His life moved between hardship and hope. Many people mocked him, saying, "Can a shoe shiner ever become a doctor or an engineer?" But Saleem never argued. Instead, he would quietly look at the name Maria written on his sister's school report card. Deep inside, he had promised himself that one day his sister would become a successful doctor. At 18, Saleem achieved an outstanding 98% in his FSC exams and earned a scholarship to National University of Sciences and Technology. For 2 years, he had carefully saved every rupee to gather 180,000 rupees for his registration fee. With tears in her eyes, his mother said, "Son, don't spend all this money. We can barely survive as it is." But Saleem smiled and replied, "Mama, if I don't study today, tomorrow Maria may also have to polish shoes like me." Even after joining university, he never stopped working. He spent his days in laboratories, studied late into the night, and during holidays, he taught basic accounting and practical skills to children from poor communities. After graduation, Saleem started a small IT company with only 3 laptops and a rented room. The first year was disastrous. His savings disappeared, debts increased, and failure surrounded him. But Saleem refused to give up. He always remembered his mentor's words. If someone can dream while standing in the dust, one day those dreams will rise above the sky. 5 years later, his company developed a successful app that became popular across Pakistan. Today, at the age of 29, Saleem owns a large office in Islamabad's G6 sector and provides employment to more than 200 people. And Maria, she fulfilled his dream and is now a doctor serving patients at Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences. Yet despite all his success, Saleem never forgot where he came from. Whenever he passes by Faisal Mosque, he stops for a moment. Sometimes he still sees a young child sitting beside the road with a small shoe-shining box. Saleem steps out of his car, sits beside the child, hands him his business card, and gently says, "My son, more important than polishing shoes is polishing your dreams and your future. Whenever you need help, come to me." Today, people call Saleem a billionaire, but he always says, "I am still the same poor boy I once was. The only difference is that today my dreams have grown taller beside me." Adapted from a story shared on the Facebook page of Sahar Ramani.